Many people want to make documentaries about themselves, and this is actually quite a challenging task, but we're going to lay out some great tips today on how you can do this successfully. But some quick background on why I'm doing this video, and if you want to just skip ahead to the tutorial, you can do that. But recently we've been seeing our students in the Art of Documentary, this is our course in Academy, absolutely crushing it. We've had students get their films onto BBC. Recently, one of our students, Ricardo, got his documentary onto Netflix. JC Creative is doing a film for NFL 360. We've seen dozens of other students get their films into film festivals for the first time and double their income in their businesses. But there's one film I'm going to be talking about specifically today, and that's by Troy Bedenbaugh. It's called One Lost, Many Found. This film is going to be premiering at the Buffer Film Festival on August 25th. Let me look at my calendar. Not the 25th, 27th. Actually, I had to change my flight today to get to that festival in time for the premiere. So if you're here in Toronto or want to come in and hang out, see the film in person, we'll be here. Troy's flying in for it. But stay tuned to my channel because on Monday 29th, we will be releasing it worldwide. Mr. Worldwide. And we're going to focus on this film today because it's about Troy, the director, journeying across the US to try to find out who his dad was. His dad unfortunately passed away when Troy was 5, and I don't want to give away too much of the film, but he uses this vehicle of these surfboards that his dad had made for people to begin to go to connect with them and piece together who his dad was and what his dad was all about. It's a powerful film. I've never cried so much watching a rough cut. And as soon as I saw it, I called up Troy and said, I want to help produce a story on this. I would love to come on as a producer and help you get this film finished. And we're going to be interviewing him in a sec, going over what he learned on filming himself. Because a lot of people come and bring that film idea. They say, I want to make a film about myself. And there's a couple quick tips I want to throw out to you first, and then we'll talk to Troy. If you're gonna be making a film about yourself, you still have to remember you are a character in a film. So nothing changes on the story rules. You'll still need a character who has a journey and that we're gonna follow towards something that they want. Troy had to make sure he was doing this in his film. Number 2 is you have to be ready to be vulnerable. If you're making a film about yourself, you have to be self-aware, but you also have to be ready to show the tougher sides of what you're going through. If you're just showing the best version of yourself, this is not an interesting character. No one will connect with it. And very quickly, the audience will want to turn this off because you won't feel human. And lastly, you still need a character arc. You as a person might feel like it's entertaining enough just to see you on camera and it's exciting seeing yourself in film and in shallow depth of field, but that's not enough. You're still a character in a film. We need to see you facing obstacles and navigating those truthfully, honestly, and with humility. And Troy did just this. So I'm gonna call him in. He's down in the States and we're gonna chat together about making a film about yourself, by yourself. I'm here with Troy Bedenbaugh. He's calling in from Florida. Troy's actually gonna be coming up to Toronto to show the film. Troy, thank you for being on the channel and directing this film. You've made an incredible piece about yourself, about your family, and about your dad's legacy. What's something you learned from making this film?
Honestly, when I came to you with the idea, I didn't want to have myself be in the film, but you were like, no bro, you gotta be in this. So I'm like, okay. But even then, like when I went to go shoot it, I didn't do as good of a job as I should have. Like micing myself up, making sure I'm getting certain shots that I need to have like a true character arc for myself in the film. And you know, it really almost came back to bite me in the end. But thankfully I was able to go back and get a few different pieces that I really needed for my character's journey in the film. A lot of that requires a lot of vulnerability, and at times it'll feel really awkward, you know, having to go film yourself. Like I had to get my wife to come film some of these things that I had to do. Some of the scenes you see like of me like crying in the film, those were honestly on accident we got those, so it's a big learning lesson for sure.
Yeah, I think you're being too hard on yourself. It's always difficult to film yourself. Like all films, every film I've done, the Tornado Project, even going all the way back to Rescate, all of our films, there's always things missing that we have to go back and capture. And so Troy takes feedback and he actually applies it to his films. He's not stubborn. It's a great way to be a filmmaker and creative, is being receptive to feedback, but he still held true to his story and his style. But Troy, well, a lot of people are probably watching this thinking, I want to make a film about myself or about my family or about a past family member. How did you know you needed to make this film and when?
I knew I wanted to always make a film about my dad, but I didn't know, I didn't want to rush into it and I didn't know what angle to take. But it was when I, looked at the filmmaking process more objectively and really found that angle that I wanted to approach the film at, I was like, okay, I have something to work with. I had multiple layers in the film, my journey, the surfboards, my family, his friends, and so when I kind of had all that and put it all together, I was like, okay, I think there's something here. So.
Amazing. Yeah, that's just it. Every film needs layers. We always talk about having a physical and a metaphysical journey, and your film clearly had that. The physical journey was you traveling across the US, meeting these people and finding these surfboards. But then the metaphysical journey was you actually emotionally, spiritually, mentally getting closer to the legacy and idea of who your dad was. And it's so important to tell these films that are on our hearts, and we don't have to do it alone. It's exactly why we have AOD, because we get to see amazing projects like your own come out of that. Troy, I could talk all day, but we're gonna get to talk in person, because you're coming to Toronto to show the film on the 27th at Buffer Film Festival for the documentary screening section. And so for anyone who's watching this, if you want to come hang out, see the film, we'd love to meet you. Troy will be there in person, so will I, and the whole Art of Documentary team will be there celebrating this amazing film. Come out and see it. Troy, any parting words?
Yeah, I'm super excited to finally share this with the world. It's been kind of cooped up within me for like the last year, so I'm just really excited to share it with everyone. But yeah, thank you, Mark, for just sharing this platform with me. And of course, shout out to the AOD community. I couldn't have made this film without them, so yeah.
Thanks, Troy. I'll see you in a few weeks. I love Troy. It was such a pleasure to get to work with him. One thing I really have to say about him is he came to me with the idea for that story a year ago, pretty much a year ago today, and said, do you think I have a film? He was just kind of mulling over the idea of finding out who his dad was. And I encouraged him. I said, this sounds like an incredible journey. You gotta do it. And to his credit, 8 months later, I got an email with a video link to a rough cut. And I was blown away, not just the fact of how good it was, but the fact that Troy actually did it. If you wanna be a filmmaker, you gotta go make films. No one's gonna create those opportunities for you. It's for you to create. But you don't have to do it on your own. It's why we've created Art of Documentary. There's people just like Troy who've come into our community and taken huge steps in their career and finally been able to make those films that are on their heart and part of their passion. And now Troy has totally changed his career as well. He's going full-time in filmmaking. He has retainer clients. He's quit his job. It's really incredible seeing people like Troy and seeing hundreds of other students do just what Troy's doing, and that's taking ground in their creative journey. So if you want to join Art of Documentary, there's only 2 chances every year, and we have one coming up on September 12th. The doors are only open for about 2 weeks, and for the first 48 hours, we do about 30% off on the course. We'll do bundled deals because we have 3 modules, module 1, 2, and 3, and the third one's called Create and Earn, all about making more money and learning how to run your business successfully in filmmaking. But if you want to learn how to become a better storyteller, and you want to do this with a group of other like-minded, motivated, kind and caring filmmakers, then why not take this step to AOD? So many people tell me that, I'm waiting, Mark, I kind of want to join, but maybe in the future. And I just don't understand why you would wait when we're seeing breakthrough from student after student who jump into the course and they say within a few weeks, it's totally changed the way they're making their films and the way they're directing and shooting their documentaries. So no time like the present, get on our wait list. You'll be able to get access to the early bird rate when we open the doors. If you miss out on this launch, you'll have to wait all the way till March of next year, and our prices are always going up. So jump in now, go follow us on Instagram for all the other information, or run over to theartofdocumentary.com, and I'll see you on the next one.